Hi, everyone. This is Fabiola Giordani, CEO and founder of Happily EmpoweredWomen.com, and thank you so much for joining me today. Today, we have Audria Richmond, an award-winning trendsetter. She is a visual branding stylist at AudriaRichmond.com. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I feel pretty good.
You look fantastic, and thank you so much for joining me today. And I know you're a busy woman, so let's get started. Tell us a little bit about your entrepreneur journey and why you decided to start your business.
Okay. Well, this year marks 6 years of being in business. I started my entrepreneur journey 6 years ago as a photographer. Before I even got into branding, before me and my husband even started a juicing business, it was all about taking photos. So when I first started my photography business, I wanted to I wanted to take photos that no one else was taking. I wanted to take regular people and make them look like stars and make them look glamorous. And at the time, I didn't own a camera, and the only way for me to get a camera was to borrow one from my friend. I'll never forget. I was like, "Hey man, I got a photo shoot. Can I borrow your camera?" And I borrowed his camera for like at least 10 photo shoots before I was able to buy my own first camera. And then when I bought my first camera, I used that for a while, and then I started getting known like, "Hey, go work with her. She's good. She's good." And I was like, "Okay, cool." Because when he first taught me how to use the camera, he was like, "Just put it on automatic and you'll be good." And I was like, "No, I don't want to just put it on automatic. I want to actually use the camera like the pros use it." So that inspired me to go and start reading and researching and figuring out like how do the pros use lighting, how do the pros position their cameras, like how do they look for models and stuff like that. And it just really kind of really went big. So I've had two photography studios since then. Now mobile. That's what I do now. And then now I'm doing branding. Me and my husband, we have a juicing business. We just launched 3B Academy. It's just been crazy. Like, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I feel like once you have one good idea and you like it and you have a system in place, do it. No one is telling you to only have one business. If you can successfully run multiple businesses, then do it. If not, then stick with one.
Amen to that. And thank you so much for sharing that because, especially the part about being passionate about so many things. And I love how you progressively move forward on to other businesses that fulfill you and that make you happy and you're passionate about it because I love photography, but I know that there's so much more to the world. And I love that you're exploring everything that you're passionate about. Thank you so much for sharing that. All right.
You're
So,
welcome.
you will. Thank you. And as a passionate serial entrepreneur, how do you juggle all of it?
Well, the way that I'm able to balance everything, I kind of prioritize which is more important to me. What do I love the most? I love all of them, but which one do I love the most? And one of the things that I love the most is actually working with entrepreneurs and teaching them not just about branding, because people come to me and it's like, "Oh, that's all you do is branding." But most of the time, I find myself mentoring my clients. So I would also consider myself to be a mentor as well. And a lot of people look up to me; they are inspired by me. So I always try to be a positive role model in the community. So the way that I'm able to juggle the all of them is I pick certain days that I do certain things. So like on Mondays and Tuesdays, I coach my clients with branding. And then like Wednesdays and Thursdays and Fridays, me and my husband work doing Juice Me Babies. And then on Fridays and Saturdays, I do photography. So I'm able to juggle all of them according to how people operate, when do people need me, and when it also works best with my schedule.
That's awesome. And I love that you have a system in place and you know your clients, you know who you're serving because, like you mentioned, most entrepreneurs would probably like working better Mondays and Tuesdays. And then photography, I mean, it's perfect because families and people that, and I know that you shoot a certain type of client, which I love, and they would probably work best on Fridays and Saturdays. So that's perfect. And I love that you have a system and that's how you're rocking your businesses because you're structured in regards to how it flows in your life. That's
Right.
perfect. So, what are some of the branding mistakes that you believe business owners should avoid?
Ooh, good question. um, I find that the most common mistake that I see all the time is lack of branding. And when I say lack of branding, I'm talking about being inconsistent. Like this purple don't match this purple, or you have this logo that looks homemade, and you're like, I don't know why I keep attracting these cheap clients. Well, you look homemade, so that's why you keep attracting these cheap clients. And I feel like people don't want to. Let me rephrase that. Entrepreneurs don't want to invest in themselves, and I find that to be a conflict because how do you expect to grow? How do you expect to expand if you're not growing and investing in yourself? And another thing that I find is very, very important that we do not do is systems. We do not know how to effectively duplicate ourselves, so we won't be out here just working ourselves to death like slaves. And it's like, oh, I got to do it too. I have to be the boss. I have to be the CEO. I have to return all the emails. I have to take the photos. I have to record my own video. And I have to, it's cool when you starting off, but when you start to grow, you cannot grow and elevate to a high level until you create effective systems in your business. So those are some most common mistakes that I see. And last but not least, poor photography. Like if you're gonna be out here crushing it, you need to have some really bad photos. You know, like you really need to be having some really highly professional photos. Like me personally, I'd rather you have a landing page as a website and some bad photos than to have a bad website and a whole bunch of selfies all over your website. So yeah, that's very common. I know it's like, you know, vague, but I'm just being honest.
No, actually, that is not vague. That is very specific, and it's true because let's start backwards with the photography because I'm a visual person and I love see, and that's when I first started my business, I hated the selfie. They really, it made me mad. I was like, why am I posting these? And finally, I was like, you know what? I'm a photographer. I told my husband, let's do this. And I got my pictures look clear and they represent me, but in a professional manner. And that's what people need to realize when you first start off, even if you don't have all the money there are certain things you need to invest in. And as you mentioned, invest in yourself because there's no way you're going to advance without putting forth money. And one of the things that I want to point out that you mentioned is that the investment part is when you think about it, if you're not investing in yourself, how can you expect other people to invest in you? I know that you just recently launched 3B Academy. Tell us more about 3B Academy and what it entails.
Okay, 3B Academy is really extraordinary. It's been a long time coming. You know, it's been one of those things. I've always been inspired to have a business school, and my husband and I really decided to just go ahead and launch it and put it out there. And one of the things that we wanted to make sure that it had was we didn't want to have create another academy where we had these long drawn out videos that wasted your time that didn't get straight to the point. So one of the things that we focus on is creating short classes that are highly effective and don't waste your time. I feel like if we give you a resource and we want you to research it, go find out. Like we don't have time to really tell you the whole entire history. We'll cover the premise and then you go do the research because we encourage people to read and research. So 3B Academy is really a source for entrepreneurs to learn modern marketing strategies and also to be informed about how to effectively brand and position themselves in the market.
Now, I love 3B Academy myself, and I can't wait for the master level to be released. I know that you love to read, and that's part of, you even have a library in 3B Academy. Tell us a little bit more about the books that you love, that you encourage others to go out there and get.
Okay, the very first book that I highly recommend when you first get in business is the E-Myth. And the reason I recommend the E-Myth, and that's actually our book of the month for July. The reason that I recommend that book is because it teaches us how to duplicate ourselves, how to not work in our business, but to work on our business, which is a totally different thing. And I love how he used the franchise prototype to really structure your business. Like if you should structure your business as a franchise. Like if you were to take your business, package it up, put it in a portfolio, and take it to some investors and say, hey, I have a business for you to buy, it should already be running itself. So if you ever wanted to remove yourself, you can do it. But 9 times out of 10, like if we're sick, our business is sick. If we can't make it, our business can't make it. And that's one of the reasons why I recommend that book. The next book that I highly recommend is I actually have it right here. It is really good. It's called Book Yourself Solid by Michael Port. I have the illustrated version, and I love that book. Like, if you're struggling to get clients, boom, that's it. He teach you how to maximize your time, leverage your time, and really put yourself out there in a really good way. So yeah.
Thank you. I love the options that you offer, and I know that you have a YouTube channel as well. So if anybody is looking for, you know, more book ideas, she loves to read. I love to read, but I think she loves to read more than I do. And she has a few videos about books that she loves. So definitely check that out. I love that video. I've actually favorited it because I have a list that I'm making from your list. So thank you so much for sharing that.
Are you welcome?
Now, if the viewers wanted to learn more about you and wanted to work with you, because I highly recommend Audria. She's amazing, guys. Let me tell you, she's just amazing. So where can they find you if they wanted to work with you with any of your businesses?
Well, I guess a good starting point is to come to the hub, which is audriarichmond.com. It's www.audria, A-U-D-R-I-A, Richmond, RICHMOND.com. That's where you can find me. That's a great source to kind of find out everything else that I'm doing. And, of course, 3B Academy is open. You can come and enroll. It's absolutely free until July 31st. After July 31st, we will not be accepting any more open enrollment for until September. So, yeah, that's how you get in contact with me.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me today. Sarah, did you have anything else that you wanted to share with everyone?
That's pretty much it. I want to thank you so much for even considering me to come and be here with you and spend this time with you. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to actually get interviewed today. We really appreciate it. And I want to thank everyone for watching. Just again, please go out on the web and check out audriarichmond.com because she's amazing. She will definitely you know, open your eyes to branding and what's important to your business so that you can shine, because her motto, I believe, is I want to make you look good and make money, right?
Yes. Yes.
Exactly. And we all want to look good and make more money. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you.